Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be touching on my birth plan as far as an epidural goes. Now, I know there are many pros and cons to getting an epidural, and I know that everyone has their own opinion on them, and I'm not making this video in any way, shape, or form to say that the way that I do it is correct. I don't want to upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings by maybe believing in something that you don't or doing something that you yourself would not do. I'm just coming on here to share with you guys the way that I want to go about getting an epidural and the way that I want to go about my whole labor as far as like the epidural and the numbness and stuff like that goes. Now, to begin with, I guess I can start by telling you guys what I plan on doing, and then I'll kind of get into the reasons as to why I want to do it that way. So Garrett and I have both agreed that this pregnancy, we want me to try to do it unmedicated. A lot of people call it natural birth. Some people call it unmedicated birth. For the sake of controversy, I am going to call it unmedicated, just because every birth is a natural birth. It's a part of life. That's what us women were made to do, was give life to human beings. So I believe that every birth is natural, whether you get an epidural or not. So I'm going to call it an unmedicated birth. If that offends you, I'm sorry, but that is what my plan is as far as this baby goes. Now, that is not to say that in the moment and in the heat of things, it's not going to change. I'm not going to say 100% I'm not getting an epidural, because that could be my mindset now, but when I'm actually in the hospital and I'm actually in the pain, my mind could be in a completely different place, and I could completely disregard everything that I'm about to tell you guys as far as why I want to go the unmedicated route. Now, I'm not against epidurals whatsoever. I know a few people who have had epidurals when they were giving birth, so I'm not against them at all. I just think that for me, I personally want to go the unmedicated route because there are a lot of risks with getting an epidural, and that is something that really bothers me and really worries me. Now, of course, there's risks no matter what you do. There's risks that, you know, you might not even make it through the labor, and plenty of people have died while in childbirth. So I'm not saying that not getting an epidural is going to completely block out all of the risk factors. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that I think as far as my best interest goes, I'm going to go the unmedicated route. At least that's my plan. So for starters, clearly we all know the big pro of an epidural is that you are completely numb. You really don't feel the pain of your contractions. You just kind of feel like the pressure. So that is the biggest pro to getting an epidural. That is why a lot of women get epidurals. I think that is the main reason that they exist, honestly, is to just be pain-free. Disclaimer real quick, can we not make a drinking game out of every time that I say epidural, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 100 times in this video and you might kill yourself if you take that many shots. Plus, if you're pregnant, let's not drink anyways, but just wanted to put that out there. I am going to say epidural a lot. I would put like a little funny like epidural counter up on the screen, but that would take so much time to like go through and actually count how many times I say it, so we're not going to do that, but just try to look past how many times I say it. Anyway, so some of my cons, I think I'm just gonna go over like the top 3, maybe top 4 that I have. And the first one is actually going to be the numbness. So having a pain-free birth would be amazing. It would be awesome. Like, who wouldn't want to have that? Clearly, I'm sure you think me because you're not getting an epidural, but so number one con is going to be numbness. Now that is, I've seen and read a lot of labor and delivery stories where women talk about how they did one birth unmedicated and one birth with an epidural, and they liked it much more when they were able to get up and walk around during labor, or get up and walk around the hallway, get up and get in the shower, do whatever they needed to do to stay comfortable. Now with an epidural, once you get that, you're basically like on bed rest. You can't get up because your legs are numb and you can't feel them. So you can't get up and walk around. You can't get up and get in the shower because you just can't get to the shower. And a lot of the times after you even give birth, you're still numb for a while. So if you want to get up and go to the bathroom or get up and just kind of walk around, I know you probably don't want to after giving birth because there's a lot going on down there, but I like the idea of having that as an option. I do not want to be bedridden. I am the kind of person where under a lot of like stress and anxiety, I like to pace. I don't know if any of you are like that, but I feel like if I'm capable of getting up and walking around, then that's what I'm going to want to do. And sometimes walking up and down the hallways in the hospital is good for you, and it'll actually help you like further along your labor process. So that is number one reason why I do not want to get the epidural. I just don't want to deal with the numbness. Now, thing number two is that there's a possibility you can have like severe headaches after you come home from the hospital, after the epidural is completely wore off. It all depends on where they like insert the epidural, and if they like hit a wrong nerve, it can sometimes trigger bad headaches, migraines that can sometimes last for a very long time, and they are very painful. Now, I watch YouTube, I watch a lot of family channels. I've seen some family channels who, the mom has gotten an epidural and then weeks down the road after the baby's been born, they're still having headaches. I personally have never been a big headache person. Throughout this pregnancy, I have had a few on and off, but they definitely weren't bad, definitely were doable, and I could deal with them. But I also know people who have to take like actual migraine medicine because they have such bad headaches that if they don't take it, it's like unbearable and they can't go on throughout their day. And I definitely do not want to be at that risk. I know that with me already being so used to not having headaches, that if I had a headache and it was that bad, I probably wouldn't be able to like function throughout the day. And clearly that's not a good thing when you have a newborn. Like, you need to be in the right headspace. You need to be able to function and feel like you are 100% there for your baby. Thing number three that scares me with getting an epidural is that you can possibly have like forever nerve damage. If you know what an epidural is, clearly it is this big long needle that gets inserted into your spine and it makes everything go numb, like I've said before. Now, you are solely depending on the doctor or nurse or practitioner or whoever inserts that into you. That is who you are depending on. Whether it is their, 17th year working in a hospital or it's their second year working in a hospital. You're depending on them. So if they insert it wrong, that could mean a lot of bad things for you as far as like your nerve damage and like back pain and stuff goes. Clearly, I know that these people are trained and that is what they went to school for. So yes, theoretically, scientifically, medically, they do know what they're doing. But we are all human. We all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. So with that being said, there's always room for error. And clearly there are like lawsuits and things like that that can take place if anything happens, but no one wants to potentially like lose their feeling from like their waist down because of this like procedure. So yeah, a lawsuit is there and it's in place, but it's not gonna fix anything. It's not gonna bring your feeling back. So it's kind of just like a fear that I have. It's like this personal fear that kind of like freaks me out. Like I said, nothing against you if you got an epidural or if you're going to get an epidural. That's all on you. This is just my personal opinion, so don't get mad at me. So I just wanted to hop on here and tell you guys my personal plan and things like that. We will be vlogging the whole birth, labor, delivery thing. So if in that video I do decide to get an epidural, it's just because of the heat of the moment. I'm a first-time mom, clearly, so I've never been in labor, never had contractions, don't know how it's going to feel, don't know if I'll be able to deal with it, but my plan as of right now is to have an unmedicated birth, and that is just my personal opinion. Once again, no hard feelings towards you if you yourself are getting an epidural. That's totally fine. I'm not someone that's going to hate on you for that because that's your personal opinion and it is your body. The things that I am doing are just for my personal sanity, I guess you could say. So Nothing against you with an epidural. Matter of fact, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you do plan on doing and why you plan on doing it, and if I just sound like a loony case because I'm so terrified of getting an epidural. But basically, just wanted to hop on here and kind of have a little chit-chatty video with you guys on my plan, maybe figure out some of y'all's plans. Like I said before, we will have a birth vlog video, so if you want to stay up to date with us and see that vlog, then make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below so that you guys can stay updated on that video and all the future videos that I have coming up for you guys. Also plan on doing a name reveal. I think we finally figured out what name we want to use for the first and middle, but we just kind of have to figure out the spelling now. So once that all gets situated, there will be a name reveal video. So if you want to see that one, also subscribe. But that's going to be it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If not, that's totally fine. Your opinion is your own. But I think that's going to be it for today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.